land the plane with this, fellas. Have any of you guys are pretty young. I don't know if you ever seen the movie Troy. I love movies, right? Because I pull messages from movies. And so with the movie Troy, the whole concept and basis of the movie Troy, they were fighting for territory, right? And Brad Pitt was the star. But in the movie, Brad Pitt's name was Achilles, right? He was that guy. But the way they will fight for territory, you could show up and say, hey man, I want to go tribe versus tribe, right? Or you could show up and say, hey man, I feel like I got one of the coldest warriors in the land and you don't have anybody in your tribe that can do anything with him. I want to go warrior versus warrior. And so because Brad Pitt, Achilles, was so cold-blooded, whenever they would show up, his king would never say, I want to go tribe versus tribe. His king would always show up and say, I want to go warrior versus warrior. He would say, I don't think you got nobody in your tribe that could do anything with Achilles. And they was fighting for land. And so Achilles got to the point, he was like, man, we got enough land. Like, this guy's just getting greedy. He just want to keep taking land. Like, he just want to keep taking property. We cool. And so he was getting weary. And so they came to him one day and was like, man, we got 2 more battles. We just got to finish. After this, they say we're done. Achilles was like, man, I'm cool. And so they went to the battle before the last battle, right? It's like your conference championship before the national championship, right? And when they arrived, they were there, and the opposite king came across, and Achilles' king said, how you want to do this, man? How you want to get down? How you want to fight for it? And this time, somebody was on the same frequency that he was on. The opposite king, instead of saying, I want to go tribe versus tribe, now he said, I want to go warrior versus warrior. He said, I feel like I got somebody in my tribe that you don't have anybody in your tribe can do anything with, my man. Of course, Achilles' king is like, what? Cool, that's how we fight. That's how we get down anyway. Let's go. And so the tribe was behind him. And so the opposite king calls out his warrior. And so his warrior steps out, and I'm talking about my man 6'5", talking about 260, ripped up, baby oil, traps up to his ears. Talking about my man, I'm talking about straight gorilla style, right? He steps out, pats his chest. His boys are screaming. They like, this our guy. We know y'all don't have anybody over there that can do anything with him. And the whole time he walking to the front with his spear like it's over with. We're going to take this land and we're going to get back to where we got to get to. And so Brad Pitt's king just called his name. He said, Achilles. Nobody popped out. And so when nobody popped out, what does the warrior do? He pipe up even more. Because in his mind, he's thinking what? Well, they got to be scared. And so he starts screaming again, let's go. He turns around to his guys, let's go. It's over with for him. They screaming. The king screams out again, Achilles. One of the guys step out from the tribe. They come up to the front and say, hey, king, man, Achilles not even at the battle. He was like, where is he? I said, he back at the village. He said, go get him. They show up in the village, Achilles sleep. They wake him up. They're like, hey man, the king got a battle for you to fight. He was like, tell him I'll be there in the morning. They said, it is morning. He was like, all right, cool. I'm gonna get up and I'm gonna get dressed. And as he's getting dressed, the guy that came to get him was telling him about the opposition that he had to face. The guy that came to get him was like, hey man, I don't think you ever faced anybody like this. Like, this guy's big, he's strong. Like, I don't think you ever went up against anybody like this. Like, this guy looks like incredible. He looks like a Greek god. And Achilles just getting dressed, not saying a word. And so when he finishes getting dressed, he goes and he gets on a horse. And so when he gets on the horse, the guy that was telling him about the opposition and adversity says to him, man, why don't you ever back down? Like, why don't you ever retreat? Why don't you ever look at the opposition and say, nah, man, I'm cool. Like, why don't you ever settle? Why don't you ever show up and say to the king, like, nah, man, this time we can go tribe versus tribe? Achilles looked at him and said, that's why they'll never remember your name. He said, because your greatness and your excellence is predicated upon what you up against. And so if you up against something that you think you can defeat, you're going to be great. Right? That's why they'll never remember your name. That's why Liberty will probably never remember your name, because your greatness and excellence is predicated upon, if I get an easy task, I'm going to be great and I'm going to give everything I got to it. But when there's adversity and opposition present or a challenge present, you pipe down and you don't want to go for it. And so when he showed up to the battle, he annihilated my man in 30 seconds. And he went to his tribe and said, is there any more? It's like, nah, you knocked off our top dog. And so when he was leaving, the king was like, I just got one more for you. Just one more. Just fight one more. He's like, no, I'm done. I'm going home. I'm retiring, man. I'm going back with my mother. And they was like, man, we're not going to win this battle if we don't have him. He said, go to his mother. Go talk to his mother. They went to talk to his mother, and the mother was there. They was like, we really need him. Can you please just get him for this last battle? She was like, all right, I'll go talk to him. And he was training people how to fight and how to conquer. And when she went to talk to him, she said, hey, son, listen. She said, you can stay here. You could probably have a family. You could probably have a great life. She said, you can stay here and you can settle and things will probably go great for you. In other words, she was telling him, you can pipe down at this point. Things will probably be cool. She said, but if you dare to be great, she said, if you dare to do something that you've never done before, if you dare to go to limits that you've never went to before, she said, they will remember your legacy forever. He said, I got it. I'm going to go conquer. And he showed up to the battle. They're getting ready. And so right before they were about to go out and go get the task, cats came to him once again. And one guy said, why haven't anybody beat you yet? You're not the biggest. You're not the fastest. You're not the strongest. Right? When people look at you, you're just not this imposing dude. Why haven't anybody knocked you off yet? Why haven't anybody been able to just put you in the ground yet? Why can't anybody beat you, man? And he looked at him. Catch it. He said, I want what all other men want. He said, I guarantee you, when I line up and they line up, I want what all other men want. I guarantee you, when you line up in your one-on-one battles, you want what all other men want. The same way you want the victory, they want the victory. I want what all other men want. He said, but when the pressure hits, when the opposition hits, when the challenge hits, when the pain creeps in, when the uncertainty creeps in, when the cuts, when the scars, when the bruises come, I want what all other men want. He said, but when the opposition and adversity shows up, I just wanted a little bit more than they wanted. And so that's how I conquer, and that's how nobody has ever beaten me yet. I just want one thing from you. As great as you are, as skilled as you are, as talented as you are, I just want one thing from you. Never allow life to make you forget why you do what you do. People don't burn out. People don't quit. People don't underachieve. People don't settle because of what they do. People burn out. People quit. People underachieve. And people settle because life makes them forget why they do it. If we respect it the way we say we respect it, if we love it the way we say we love it, if we cherish it the way we say we cherish it, every single day should be nothing less than excellence. You might not always be your best, but you can always bring me your best.